Hello, everyone, and welcome to our presentation of the 2016 13th Annual Salinas Californian All-Star Classic. We're brought to you today in our pregame by Memory to Video Productions. My name is Blair. I'm so excited to be here once again with Mayra Gomez. Thank you for coming along.
Always a great year, always great times.
And of course, Carlos.
Thank you.
You've meant so much to this game, and what has this game meant to you and the community? Like, take us through it. Like, where did this all start? Well,
basically what happened is back in 1995-96, what ended up happening is the game in this county, in our area here, was kind of at an all-time low. And what had happened is we had people that weren't playing the game all that well, and it got to the point where the commissioner of the programs here, of the high schools, was basically going to stop the game. Basically, that's what happened. So I was running a youth program and a big fan of the game, and so my wife and me got together. I mean, we've been together and decided to do an all-star game. And so at that time, what we were able to do with the game is we were able to select all the players based on being an all-leaguer. And the rules have changed now for this event. But we did that successfully for 3 years. And we have players we have former players that are now coaches and sportscasting.
That's right.
That's right. for this program, and so I'm very happy that they're all here. And so it's meant a lot to me because the game has not been, at least in my opinion, back then things have changed, but it wasn't given the amount of exposure as your three major sports. And so with this game, we've been able to give the kids that maybe get 10, 20 people at their games a good crowd, some good recognition, and representing their school. So it's good. So we're in our 13th year.
Yeah.
We took a short break after the third year, and we came back with the help of the Californian, and everything's been going very good with this partnership and with all of you here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been involved for so many years now as players or just as a fan, and just to see it grow and build and build. And what does it take to put something of this magnitude together? Well,
great volunteer base, great community support with sponsorships, and then we have over time we've had players like yourself that have come back to support the game, which has been really good. Tonight, I think, can I mention the names here?
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna have Etelvina Balcazar is going to be assisting with one of the girls' team, the win. Corelli Barba, which played in 2004, and Etelvina played in the very first game. And so it gives me, it makes me feel very, very special that she's helping out. It's made full circle. And Corelli's here. She stepped up and she said she wanted to help. And it was nice because I met her. We've had over 600, 700 players in this game. And for the players to actually speak up, to come back and want to do something is really good. We also have Edgar Luquin that played in the 2005 game. And as I mentioned in the program for this event, he's somebody whose dad coached him as a little boy in a program I was running, and went through the program I was running, and then went to high school, then played in the game.
Right.
And now he's here. He's been coaching the team, and I'm very proud that he's here all the time, that he's helping out. And of course, I'm going to mention you playing in the very first game with the California.
Only 5 years ago?
Only. It might have been 3.
Right.
My memory's not good. But it's meant a lot to me that these people are coming back, and you laid some seeds out there, and we're getting some return. We've also had, when we signed up the players, we had a couple of twins that are from Salinas High, some young ladies by last name Mateas that are playing. Sophia's one of them as a goalkeeper, and she had her older brother that played in the game. And we had another young man, I don't remember his name, who accompanied his younger brother, but he has also played with us. So we've had a whole lot of people playing. It's just that, well, you're the operator of your camera today, of our camera. He played in the game, and he's always here, so it's good. Right. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting to me to see that energy in the community, and you can tell whether you go to the game and see the crowd, like, they care about this. Yes. And I really just have to say thank you, because it wouldn't be possible without you, Carlos.
It's all a team effort, and if I need all of you more than I think you need me. I'll tell you that.
We need someone pulling our hair.
Yeah, but
or getting on us or calling us. Well, when you remember to call us.
And the coaches that are here, they do a great job, and without them, there's just no way this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And they believe, and they're here, and I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Well, we believe too. So.
Yeah, well, here's
Thank
to
you very much,
at least
Carlos.
one more year.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Carlos.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Right.
It is.
It is about the
It is
love
all
of the
about the
game,
game.
and at the end of the day, this is your last walk off into the sunset as a senior. New friends, new possibilities, new horizons for some players, and
Beautiful moments,
Yeah.
beautiful times here. And speaking of, we should probably move on to one of those teams.
yes, I would
Girls.
love to be able to talk about the girls' teams this year. I'm always such a big fan of this competition. In my personal experience, it feels like the girls always tend to have a particular edge in the level of competition. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they want it more. I don't know. But they're all really exciting games, and we're really lucky this year. Both girls' teams have first-year coaches in the All-Star Classic. I'm lucky to be joined by one such coach, who is the coach of the girls' wind team, Corelli Barbara, and Etelvina Belkazar, assistant coach. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
So, let's start there. I know this is your first appearance at the All-Star Classic, but I also know that it's not your first rodeo. So, tell me, what's your involvement in the game in the area?
I mean, it's a great honor to be out here. I mean, I played in the previous year. I mean, it was 2004, 2 years ago, as Mayra said. You know. It was great. It was a great experience. I mean, you go out there, you show your talent out there, you know, and I mean, being able to help these kids go out there, and I mean, it's just amazing. You know, there's a growth in these athletes that, I mean, it's just, I have no words for them. You know, we have a great team out there. I think we're looking pretty solid. Just saying, you know, but it's just amazing. You know, as being able to be a coach now out there, I'm just really honored. You know, as a player, I had lots of fun. I mean, I met new players. It's just great.
Yeah. And Etelvina, you have some history in this event as well, right?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the first time I participated in an All-Star, obviously I played 4 years. I mean, like I said, Carlos said, rules have changed, little things, tweaks here and there to make the program better every year. I got lucky. I participated my 4 years as a freshman to senior. Then I also participated, I believe, 6 years reffing the game in the All-Star. And then now it's coaching. So I went all through the whole phase of being a player, being a ref, and now I have the privilege to be a coach. So can be more happy than that.
So, and this can be for either of you guys, what do you think is the thing about this event that keeps people coming back? Whether it's you guys, whether it's Edgar, Mayra, Carlos, what is the thing that keeps us in this orbit of like, we kind of don't want to leave?
Well, I mean, it's just a talent. You have a lot of talent out there throughout the whole Monterey County. I mean, you go from King City all the way to PG, Carmel, you know, Salinas High, Alisal, all the local teams are great. And all the support from the community, I think that's what keeps it going. I mean, games are really interesting. You know, everybody goes out there, has fun the whole day. And I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, the whole support the community brings to it.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more the love of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, as a player, as a referee, as a coach, it's you see different aspects of the game, and also because I'm huge on doing highlights for the players down south. I think our talent has been growing a lot. We still have to, you know, keep growing those programs because we don't do a lot of trouble ball down south. So that's something that I would love for our community to change, get a little bit more involved. And we all have to, you know, do a little piece. So I'm doing my part as, you know, being a volunteer, coaching for the summer leagues and stuff like that. And that's how we can start doing the changes. I think it's just the love of the game.
Yeah,
overall.
I believe that that's an element that sort of permeates throughout. I'm very lucky in that this is the first time I've done one of these pre-games with an assistant coach. And so I'm curious if you could just speak to what your role has been in this process so far.
I think I've been pretty lucky. We've known each other for so many years. We played together on local leagues and stuff like that. So we kind of share the same ideals on the game. So we are I am an assistant, but I feel like we're more like a partner in crime kind of thing situation, because we, like I said, we have the same ideas, same things, and same concepts. So it's more of the tactical game, you know, where I get involved. We change our rules once in a while, which is more of a conditioning, and then I'm sometimes more in the conditioning and then the tactics and all that stuff. It's just that I think we make a great team because we have the same ideas, and then we try to develop the players as much as possible of younger age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking with other coaches in the past, because for this game especially, you have so little time, do you find that that's a challenge getting, if you're on the same page, it sounds like an asset, but do you find it's a challenge getting the girls on the same page?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, a week is pretty much nothing, to go out there and practice. I mean, the girls try to go out there and try to get the game going, but I mean, it's absolutely hard, but working with them, giving them the time, and a location for us to practice and give them our time, and I think they're coming along. I mean, we started a little rough, our past practice, but they came together, they started communicating, started touching the ball a lot more, and I mean, it's overall coming along. I mean, it's definitely hard though.
Yeah. Well, let's start talking about the girls. Glenn Cravens, of course, Salinas Californian sports reporter, gave us some scouting reports, and from his perspective, it sounds like this is going to be a pretty aggressive, fun team to watch. What do you guys think?
Definitely. I think we have a very, very solid midfielder. Overall, I think our team, it's very talented. I mean, when we were talking and running the practice, I was just pretty amazed at how beautiful the girls' game has developed. Where it used to be before, where we would just play kickball. I would call it kickball, pinball. And we see the guys level, like touching the ball, creating the play. And I just seen these kids yesterday in practicing, the way they talk, the way they started connecting with each other, the bonding we had. I mean, it's just amazing. It's beautiful, and that's I think for every coach, that's the ultimate goal as a coach to have that kind of communication, that kind of bonding with the girls. And I mean, like I said, we have a solid team, so it's going to be a fun game to watch and to.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed in Mayra and my interaction with the players before games, it always seems to be that team that's on the pitch the day of the game, and they're laughing together, and they've all got goofy nicknames, and all those walls between high school allegiances are down. They almost always have the better game. So it sounds like you feel like you guys are pretty much getting there.
Yes,
We're working on it.
Getting there.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm always really excited. I know that there's so much passion in the air, and I don't know. I mean, is there anything else that you want to share about the difficulties of the process, or what are some things that have gone really well that maybe you weren't expecting to?
Oh, man, I think we had a good outcome of the girls. I mean, our first practice, we had the majority of them out there. I mean, one or two players couldn't make it for whatever reasons, but I think just them being committed, being out there, wanting to go out there and play, wanting to meet each other, meet different players from the area, and just the whole bond that they brought about. So I think that's what's really working for us. I mean, them touching the ball, communicating is the main factor. So I think we got there, and I mean, we just got to keep working from there.
Right. And naturally, in a situation like this where it's only one game, you kind of just let the story play out once you get there and just say, hey, girls,
Exactly.
once they blow that first whistle, you go until they blow the last one. Right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you again so much for joining me today, and good luck on Sunday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. And I talked briefly about how that team is sort of set up to be something of an offensive powerhouse, but man, I've seen some keepers absolutely dominate this game in the past, and when it's one game and 90 minutes, who knows which direction it's going to go. You've seen those kinds of games. We've seen
it
countless
every
games
day,
go to
yes.
PKs.
Exactly. Look, can we not mention the PKs?
Oh, sorry.
How many times do I have to tell you? Do not mention
too soon.
the
Too
penalty
soon.
Way too soon. It's never too not good. We do not mention penalty kicks. But yes, we have seen many, many times where we have a defensive team and we are predicting this team to be just defensive and this team to be offensive, and it turns around. And,
Right.
it's always that last game, that last showcase. And I think these boys, these girls, they know it. I do believe that they know it. They're aware of the fact that it's their last showcase. And sometimes we find, the all-star from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Someone that we didn't expect, and he steals the show, and he comes about and scores the goal, the game-winning goal, or he does the amazing corner kick that gets the perfect assist. I mean, it's...
Or that one run that doesn't quite come through in the 89th
Right.
minute. Like, I always love the surprises and the fun. Speaking of fun, you have a very envious position now. You get to interview
is that
the two men in the four-year rivalry.
4-year rivalry.
Oh,
Well,
they'll both remind you.
do we call it a rivalry at this point?
How is
Do
it
we
not?
continue? I mean,
How
it's
is it not?
I think this is the time when Coach Art says it's a good thing it's not baseball, because it's not 3 strikes and you're out. Not this time. But maybe it's 3 strikes and we finally get that win. I don't know.
We'll see. I'm very curious to see how these teams
It'll be
stack up.
very exciting. So we have these two coaches present with us today. Coach Edgar, thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Coach Art, always great to have you both back here, going on to our 4th year. Isn't this exciting? Our 4th year, and we're expecting to finally see that win, right, Coach Art?
We'll do our best.
Please tell us, how does it feel? I mean, you keep coming back every year. What happens?
I love this game.
Okay.
And I feel I have stuff to offer the kids, and I show up, and we train, we go through what we go through, and they show up on Sunday, and they play ball.
And they play ball.
Yeah.
Now, you've been a little bit more favorable on this playing ball. What do you think it's the same thing this year?
Might be a little different this year. We're expecting rain, so the snake boots
Right.
might have to stay in the closet this year.
Ooh, that's some good news for Coach Art here.
So I don't know.
All right.
It was a myth.
The weather.
There you
The
go.
weather might play a factor. I don't know.
Okay, well,
So let's blame the weather.
and that's right. Now we're going to blame
goes
the weather
both
for this
ways,
one, of
doesn't it?
course.
Yes, it does.
But this goes further again. You know, putting the jokes aside and everything, you come back every year and you do have something to offer to these kids every single year. What do you think is different every single year? What you offer obviously to them encouragement. You've gone past the idea of having this team for just 1 week, a couple of weeks. Is there something that you learned, that you've learned in these past 3 years that works best now?
I'll find out on Sunday what works best. I know I've changed the way I'm running the my practices
Okay.
up to it. There are levels at high school, and I've tried to go beyond that, but
Right.
you just can't do it in a week.
Okay.
So my strategy this year is to just let them play. Just
Okay.
let them be who they are. They are who they are, and if you think about it, a 1 week isn't going to make a difference.
Right. And I think you learned that from the very first year, right? The very first year you try to do a lot of running, you try to do some conditioning,
Yes.
and then you realize, wait, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So you've adjusted to the system a little bit.
Right. Well, my practices have always been very difficult in the past, from a physical point of view, from a technical point of view, and I think that if I had any fault to take, is that I went too technical for what we're doing. For
Okay.
a 1 week thing, if I could take them for a season, different.
Right.
But for a week, it's got to be they are already who they are, and we're just going to see if they do. We're going to let them be who they are, and let's see what they do.
That's wonderful. What about you, Edgar? What have you learned?
We just got to try to get them working as a team. It's very difficult to do in 1 week. Sometimes it takes months to get
Right.
the boys to start clicking. We do try to have icebreakers the first practice and
Okay.
get everybody set up with a nickname and stuff like that. So it eases the tension a little bit.
Okay.
Gets everybody at ease. And that's when they start getting comfortable. And as a soccer player, once you get in your comfort zone,
Okay.
good things happen.
So nicknames. Do you do nicknames?
I do not.
You do not. There you go. That might be
So that's
something
it.
else. See, here we go. We got to
I do
start
not.
learning
I
these
have
things,
them on my
Coach Art.
club- on the Galaxy Club team, but for some of the players. But
Okay.
overall, for this, no, I have not done nicknames.
Okay, so that might be something
Might be
to
something.
to get them a little bit more comfortable here. Okay, so what do you think? Just the boys. What do you think they take from this? Have you had any of these players come back to you in these past years? Players that you've coached during just this 1 week. Do they stay in touch with you? Do you see them around?
Them
Do they
personally,
take anything?
They do form a bond.
Okay.
Because back when I played in 05, I formed a bond with the guys that were on my team, and I'll still call them. We'll still hang out.
Okay.
Some of them are coaching high school now, so
Oh, great. Okay.
we talk about soccer a lot still. And yeah, for the players these last few years, we actually had 3 players from last year's team come to our training session today.
Oh,
and
that's
not just from
wonderful.
Salinas. We had a couple guys from Gonzales and one
Okay.
from Soledad. So
Oh, that's great to hear.
yeah,
So we keep that tradition going and continue on to a community event.
Yep.
That's
So,
wonderful. That's really good to hear.
I mean, they form bonds, even though they're together for a week. They form strong bonds and friendships. A lot of them play with each other in
Okay.
club or against each other, so they know each other before they even come to the game. But I mean, this helps them form a tighter bond, and they keep coming back. So
Okay. And what about you?
Well, I don't know. As me personally, I usually after the All-Star game is over, I've run into a couple of my ex-players in, say, Safeway or something.
Okay.
But just because of just who I am and my relationship, I'm not part of the school system. I have my own business, so I'm not, unless you go to York, which is,
Okay.
I'm there quite a bit, or you
Right.
play on my club team, which, by the way, we have groups of players playing for Edgar for my club team and groups playing on my team. So they're playing against each other now.
Oh, wonderful.
So that'll be a fun thing. So
Okay.
I see those guys quite a bit, but from the All-Star, usually once they're gone, I don't see them again.
Okay. Well, you're talking about playing against each other, their teams, the players that have played together. We have a couple of notes, but I'm going to steer away from these. I want you to tell me, what kind of game are we expecting? I'll let you know. You know, Glenn did tell us one was more defensive, one was more offensive.
I'd say low scoring, but that's what I said last year.
Nice.
Okay. Why is it a low scoring game in this
Well, I mean,
game?
these games are usually, a little tight, just because there's talent on both sides of the ball.
Okay.
Art has great offensive players,
I do have a few. yes.
Okay.
and I feel like I have strong midfield players. So we'll see. It should be a close one this year,
Yeah.
just like last year's.
I actually feel that my strength is in the midfield as well.
Okay.
So it should be a good square battle there in the midfield. It's just a matter of which team can stay compact and put the pressure on, get the numbers in the back, keep the ball out of the net, and who can get the numbers up and put the ball in the net. And I think that's
Wonderful. So low scoring game? Really?
I'm actually thinking
Low
it's
scoring
gonna-
games?
I'm thinking it's going to go higher.
Higher,
I'm
okay.
looking for 3-2, 3-3.
Higher than
Okay.
7-1.
No. No. That's a no. That's a straight out
That's
no.
not. That's going to be a straight up no.
No.
Well, we're definitely going to see that on Sunday. We're hoping to see those skin boots. Well, no, we're not, right? Art?
Oh,
No,
you
we're
know
not.
what? Bring it on. I want the
Bring it
skin
on.
boots.
We
I
want the skin boots.
I want
Okay.
the rain. Whatever. Let's just pull the stops. Let's do this.
That's right. So we're going to have to do that final home run.
Right.
Well, thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
Art.
much,
Good luck
Laura.
on Sunday. Thank you so
Art,
much, guys.
awesome. Hey,
And this Sunday might be a low scoring game or it might be a 7-1. But then again, who's watching and keeping score, right, Chris?
Let's be honest. Who is going to predict a 7-1 game?
I was not.
I will say this. We look at the scouting reports, right? But it really comes down to what we said at the end of the last interview.
Yes.
Somebody is going to surprise us.
Somebody will,
I always feel like there's either that one keeper that just can't be beat.
right?
There's that one all-star striker that is just totally snake bit.
Okay.
There's always something that doesn't quite break the way you'd
Right.
expect. And that's one of the things that I personally have loved as a fan just watching these games.
Right.
Like, you can't break it out, right?
No.
You can't just say,
You
well,
can't
these were the
predict, you
numbers.
can't decide. That's
You-
right.
You look at some of these rosters, you have 11 goal players, you have 12 goal players, you have keepers that are consistently making 10 saves a game and winning.
Right. How do they do it? Don't ask me. I have no idea. I
The
would never
stats-
be a goalkeeper
The
there.
stats are outrageous, but my gut tells me we're probably going to have, I think the girls' game is going to go high. And
Okay.
I do think the boys' game is maybe a 2-1.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
that's what what are you seeing here?
you know, I'm only hoping for no penalty kicks, as I always do ever since the very first one where we were out there.
I shouldn't have said it.
I always ask, no penalty kicks, of course. Please, no penalty kick, boys, girls, whatever you do. Please end the game early, even if it's a 1-0. Please don't, actually. That's kind of boring. We like to call goals, so do score a lot of goals. That would be entertaining. But no, in all due reality, I think, 2-3, 3-1. Looking at the stats, if we do go based upon them, we do have a very strong goalkeeper on one end. We have a strong offensive on the other end, but then we have a strong offensive on the other team. So you cannot go by it.
I hate to say that because it almost sounds like a cop. It was like, well, they're all really good, but they are.
They are.
They
They are
really
very good. And it's something that we were just talking about a couple years ago when we had that midfielder from Salinas High School. And he was just shooting nonstop, shot after shot after shot, and it wasn't going in.
Yep.
And he stole the show forever, and he finally got it.
Finally got it.
We can finally say he finally got it. But it's things like that he wasn't even on our top, 5 kids. He wasn't on our top list. We had no idea that he was just going to show up and steal the show. So anything like that can happen.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what story we get to tell on Sunday. And really, it's what story are the kids going to tell?
That's right.
And
we only narrate it.
That's right. You only get to do this once a year. They only get to do it once in their lives now. So I'm so thrilled to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to it. I know you're looking forward to it.
Every single year.
Yeah.
Ever since the very first year that I was an athlete, 2 years ago, of course.
That's right. 2018. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us for this pregame. But like I said, please be there with us on Sunday if you don't have your tickets already, because it's promised, guaranteed to be a great show.
That's right. So we will see you there on Sunday, hopefully enjoying an incredible show that's made for the community. It's for the community, by the community, for the community, always.
For Mayra Gomez, I've been Chris Blair. Thank you once again, and this has been the pregame production of the 13th annual Salinas Californian All-Star Classic, broadcast made possible by Memory to Video Productions, and hopefully we'll see you there on Sunday.